chosen one. There are moments in the life of a person when the instruction from heaven is not a whisper. It is a clear and settled word that arrives in the center of your chest before it arrives in your mind. That word today is, sit down. You shouldn't be scared of bad news or think something is wrong. What is coming your way right now is too big for you to handle while you are still living in the small version of your life that you thought it was. You didn't just happen to find this message. I want you to fully understand that. The force that set the times of the stars, the routes that birds take during migration, and the time in history when you were born is the same force that brought you here today. That is not language that is poetic. That is an account of a very specific divine appointment that was written a long time ago, before today. I'm going to talk to the chosen one who has been having a hard time for a long time, who kept showing up even though the evidence didn't point in their direction. The person who made faith choices over and over again in private places. You are not the one who has been chosen and is now waiting to become something. You have been chosen and you are on the verge of a huge change. When you hear about it, the only thing that makes sense is to sit down and let it happen. This isn't for most people. This is for the person who has felt for weeks, months, or even years that something big was being planned, but couldn't see it. Something that no current event or piece of evidence could explain or prove. It wouldn't go away, though. The feeling that a very big plan was being made. Something that would have required you to stay where you stayed and go through what you went through. That feeling is not just a wish. That feeling is a divine sign of something that is about to happen. And I'm going to walk you through what it means, what it needs, and what is already happening in this message. There are 5 signs that make it clear that this message is meant just for you. Not for everyone who came here, just for you. And I want to carefully look at each one because each sign is important and confirms what I already know. This is the first sign. Your gut has been telling you for a while that something is about to change. But you haven't been able to say what it is. This has nothing to do with any event you are planning or a prayer you said last week. That's not all of it. Knowing comes from the body before it comes from the mind. There's a low hum that lets you know things are changing, even if your life looks the same as it did 6 months ago. You are not making that up if it's true for you. That's the sign of heaven landing on a receiver before the whole signal gets there. The second sign is something that is harder to accept. During the time before now, some things in your life were taken away or ended in ways that didn't feel right or fair. People you were with changed without your permission. You missed chances that seemed too close before you could catch them. Lack of resources that could help you reach your goals. In the moment, those losses felt like punishment or a mess. Loss that comes right before a huge incoming is not punishment, though. It's God clearing the way, getting rid of things that can't handle the weight of what's coming. The things that were taken were the ones that would have made it hard for them to get there. The third sign is inside of you. Your dreams have changed. You are more spiritually aware than you were before. You may have been waking up at strange times and with a strange clarity. Some of you may have noticed that reading the Bible, getting messages, or talking to people has been more meaningful than usual, like they were speaking directly to you. That's because they are. When the internal landscape changes before the external landscape catches up, that means that something is getting ready at the root level before it shows up on the surface. This is the fourth sign. In the past few weeks or months, you've had sudden, brief moments of extreme clarity. There were times when your mind felt sharp, present, and connected in a way that doesn't always happen in real life. You might have thought those times were just random good days. Not by chance, though. They were sneak peeks. They were your thoughts briefly touching the frequency of where you're going before you arrive fully. The clarity you felt in those flashes is the clarity that will stay with you. It is easy to understand and sure that the fifth sign is there. It looks like you're here to listen. Each choice you made that led you to this point, even the ones that seemed like mistakes, was the right one. The person this message wasn't meant for has been gone for a long time, but you stayed. There is a reason for that stay. It's a pattern. And patterns are one of the best ways to tell that the big thing that's coming is coming right for you. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. Let's take a moment to hold something in front of you before we go on. Some scientific progress has been made in the last few years that most people who really care about the things we've been talking about have never heard of. Not because it goes against something holy, but because most of us aren't paying attention to it. Neuroscientists, led by a doctor in New York who has studied this for decades, have found something about how the mind works that explains something that spiritually sensitive people have known for a long time, but never been able to put their finger on. There is something so basic that it has to do with the Nobel Prize, but it is so easy to use that it almost sounds too simple at first. What they found will be in the next part of this message. But put this question on hold for now. What if the reason your mind sometimes feels cloudy, slow, or disconnected from the sharpness you know is inside you isn't a flaw in your character, a spiritual failure, or old age? What if it's something with a very clear cause and a very clear solution? Put that question on hold. We'll get back to it. God doesn't get something big ready before. He gets the person who will receive it ready. This is clear from all the patterns in sacred history. The preparation always comes before the provision. It is always the formation that comes before the fullness. And the length of the formation season always depends on how big the work that is being done is. Think about what that means for you. As you form, think about how long it will be, Think about how heavy the things you've been carrying are. Feel the years that were like waiting and the seasons that were like being in the middle of nowhere. If the preparation took this long and this deep, then what's coming is in line with it all. At this point, you don't shape someone to give them a small reward. What's coming needs a vessel that has been shaped, stretched, and strengthened beyond what normal life could ever produce. This is where you form a person. This season has not been a waste of time, not a single day of it. It didn't feel like any of the prayers hit the ceiling. Not a single night when you only had the tiniest bit of faith left. Every part of it worked. It worked, but not always in the way you could see. And now that season is coming to an end quickly. The way a harvest ends, a door opens, and dawn comes clearly, finally, and in large numbers. God told Abraham to see the stars. He told him to try to count them. He didn't want Abraham to look up at the sky. He was telling Abraham to make it easier for him to receive. You can't hold a blessing bigger than your faith that it can happen. And this message today is an invitation to grow. Stop looking at what's in front of you and start looking at what's above you, around you, and coming at you from a direction you haven't been looking at. Things are already moving toward what's coming. It began a long time before this message, a long time ago, on this day. The arrival doesn't depend on how well you do. It hasn't been held up by your doubt. Your promise to do it was made before you were born, and it has already begun. And it's moving toward you with such confidence that you don't have to believe it to keep going. But what you can receive when it comes depends on what you believe. There is a difference between getting a blessing and it coming to you. You can miss something that comes from heaven, not because God took it back, because you weren't ready to see it when it came, because the receiver that was supposed to pick up its frequency wasn't working at full speed. That's something we're going to talk about in more detail as this message goes on. Someone in the middle of a crowd doesn't get the message from God to sit down. He sends it to different people. He told Elijah this after he had run as far as he could and passed out under a tree. He told Jacob this after he had sent everything he owned across the river and was alone. He is telling you this now because what is about to happen in your life is not something that everyone will be involved with. It is an appointment between you and the God who has been following your story the whole time and has now decided that it is time for the turn. In real life, this means that the person you are about to become will not look like a gradual improvement of the person you are now. Things will look very different from how they are now. Everything about you is different: what you understand, what you can get, and how clearly you can make decisions that used to seem impossible. There will be a big change with the upcoming shift. People around you will notice the change before you fully believe it yourself. For now, just know this. Right now is such a big turning point in your life that the time before and after it will seem like two different lives. When what is about to happen happens, the person on the other side will remember this day and understand why they had to sit down, be still, and listen. What is coming did not come to stop your life. It came to finish it. It came to prove the years right. You were right to hold on as it came to show you. And the fullness of what it holds is bigger than anything you can imagine right now. People who are chosen carry 3 identities, but most people who do not know what they are have not been told. There have been times when they felt the weight of each identity without fully understanding what that meant. Giving them names changes something. it changes a duty into a calling. The first one comes before. The person who gets to a place before there is a path is called the forerunner. This person goes into new territory in their family tree, community, or field, not because someone showed them the way, but because they were chosen to pave the way for others. The person who is ahead of others often feels alone, but not because they are being left behind. The loneliness that has felt like a wound is actually a good thing. The silence around you is not meant to mean that no one likes you. The sound of open land. There is new ground to walk on. The first thing your feet touch on the ground. People who live in the forerunner feel lonely in a way that no normal community can fully satisfy. Because the person who is living in the forerunner is living in a shared experience that has not yet been written. As painful as it has been, being alone was the price of the assignment. People who will follow you into the new ideas you're bringing about won't feel that way. They'll have a way to get there. They will look at what you do. They'll have proof that it's possible. But you had to be the first one to walk into it without any proof or a plan, just because you felt called to do it. The second identity is the one that breaks the cycle. The person who broke the cycle was put at a certain point in a generational line to stop a pattern that had been going on for decades or generations. Every problem you've had that didn't seem to fit with your choices served a different purpose. It brought up a root. There was something in your family that had been hidden for a long time that was coming to light. Something had to be named and dealt with before the next generation could be free of it. During this season, you didn't just live your own life. Something bigger than your own story was on your back, and it wasn't a mistake to carry. It was my job to carry things. The person who breaks the cycle doesn't get a smooth transition into adulthood. When they get to where the pattern lives, they feel its full weight before taking it apart. That's because you can't break a cycle you haven't seen before. You had to really feel it. You had to know what it does to a person from the inside. Understand that it's not a wound you carry with you. You use your knowledge to make sure that no one in the generation after you ever has to feel that way again. The third part of who you are is your deep root. The tree that can't be moved has a deep root that goes deeper than anything that can be seen in the ground. You've been through winds that should have blown you away, droughts that should have dried you out, and stresses that should have left marks, but you're still here. That isn't really resilience, though. There is a root system there that grew underground while you thought nothing was going on, as well as strong roots that can hold up big fruit. You can't hang heavy fruit from a tree that isn't very deep. The depth that you were given was important. It was done on purpose, and what it holds is about to become clear. Now, I want to talk about the force that has been stopping what God has planned for you from coming to you. Because there is resistance to everything important in life, and the resistance you've faced has a certain trait that you should make clear. The first way resistance shows up is in the form of a small voice. This isn't the voice of an enemy outside of you. This is your inner voice telling you to keep your expectations low because it has been through years of disappointment and being late. It says that big things like this don't happen to people like me, or that they only happen to people with more advantages, better situations, or more obvious gifts. That voice isn't wise. That voice is an old defense mechanism that doesn't help anymore. Which means that voice doesn't get to make decisions during this season. The second kind of resistance is something I want you to pay close attention to, because it shows up in the stories of almost all the chosen ones, right before they break through. It's the feeling of having the most resistance, right before the most release. The most stressful part of a birth in the natural world is right before the baby comes out. This doesn't mean that the thing isn't going to happen. It's almost here because of the pressure. There is no sign that the big thing has been taken away if you have been feeling unusually pressured, resistant, or having trouble lately. In that case, you are in the moment right before it comes. You can also use the comparison trap to fight back. The urge to compare your timeline to someone else's timeline whose story you can see from the outside. What you can't see is how long they waited in rooms where no one was around. The only thing you can't see is how their preparation is set up differently from yours. Your schedule is not behind schedule. Your schedule is unique. This timeline was written to fit the weight of what you are holding, and there isn't another one like it. As soon as you stop comparing your story to someone else's, it will begin to flow in a way that it was always meant to. Now I want you to think about a person from sacred history while we get to the next part. His name was Joseph. When he was 17, he had a dream that told him about a future so important that no one in his family could believe it. Then the getting ready began. Not in the way that anyone would have thought of. He was put down in a hole. He was sold. He was taken to a different country. He was sent to prison for a crime he didn't do. Every part looked like it would end. It looked like the last door was behind every door that shut. Then, all of a sudden, one morning when she was 30, everything changed. He went from the prison to the palace all in one day. One day, the dream that had been told 13 years before came true in full. The palace is not the most important part of that story. The pit is the most important part. Because being in the pit wasn't a punishment. The pit was setting up. Joseph was taken to places that seemed to be going in the wrong direction. But they were actually training grounds that gave him the skills he would need to lead what was to come. Prison taught him how to run a business. He learned language and culture in the other country. The years of waiting made him a strong person who would not be changed by the power he was about to get. Your pit wasn't a mistake. You were not punished by being locked up. Everywhere you've been, that seemed like the wrong way to go was actually the right way to get ready for what's coming up. I'd like you to hold a second picture next to Joseph. It looks like a seed in the winter. If you plant a seed in the fall, it will go through a season that looks exactly like death. It is dark. It's not warm. It's still. There are no signs that anything is happening. Someone who doesn't know much about seeds would walk by that area and not notice anything. On the other hand, the most complicated and permanent change is happening underground. The outside shell is breaking down. The root structure is taking shape. The building blocks of what the seed will grow into are being put together in the dark and quiet, but they can't be seen or stopped. That was your season. Not death, not being left alone, but deep formation. In the same way that the seed can't choose when spring comes, you don't have to make what's coming happen. The seasons change at their own pace, which you don't have to control. For now, all you have to do is stay in place on the ground. Of course you have been. You stayed in the ground all winter, which went on longer than you thought. Spring isn't coming. It's now spring. Let me close the loop that has been open since the start of this message. I told you that scientists found something that most people who are interested in these kinds of things have never heard of. Something that has to do with the Nobel Prize. Something that is simple in how it works, but deep in what it explains. Why does your mind feel foggy or disconnected from the sharpness you know is inside you? That's the question I asked you to hold. I'm going to tell you now why I waited until now to bring it up. Because what they found is more than just facts. It is a way out. Another thing is that a solution is only useful if you fully understand the issue it solves. You now know what the shape is. Before reading the next part of this message, make sure you understand this. Both halves of the brain were meant to work together in sync for the brain to work properly. The mind works at a level that most adults haven't felt since they were young when that synchronization is happening. Clarity comes without any work. Decisions that were hard to understand become clear. You can see connections that were hidden before. The full range of your ability to see what God has put nearby is restored. As a spiritual metaphor, this is not true. Nobel Prize-winning research from 1981 proved this to be true in the brain. This is important for everything we've been talking about because of this. No matter if your hemispheres are in sync or not, the big thing that is coming into your life will happen. But the state of your mind has everything to do with how deeply you can receive it, recognize it, and walk into it fully. When you're about to start the most important part of your life, you don't want your receiver to be working less than it should. And there is a certain way to deal with this that I will now tell you about. Remember the question I told you to think about at the start of this message? This is the answer. There was a Nobel Prize for it. The Nobel Prize in Medicine was given to neuroscientist Dr. Roger Sperry in 1981 for his work on the two sides of the human brain. The things he and his co-workers found were not vague. It was the basis. Both halves of the brain are meant to work together in sync for the brain to work properly. When they work together, the mind is clear and creative in a way that it can't be when only one hemisphere is active. They said it worked the whole brain. When they measured it, they found something very strange. Before I talk about what his research led to, I'd like to share two stories from people who have already found what I'm going to talk about. A California woman talked about how she felt before she found this. She had tried every spiritual practice her community had to offer, including prayer, writing in a journal, meditation, and more. But she kept having the same experience. She believed what the Bible said. She couldn't feel what was really going on. Not in her body, and not in the way her days were lived. The signal was being blocked by something. After 10 days of what she found, she said that a channel that had been blocked suddenly became available. It wasn't because she worked harder. The receiver had been fixed. When she was a child, she had a brief moment of clarity that she had been chasing ever since. It became the constant base of her daily life. Something similar was said by a man from Texas, someone who had spent years keeping things together for other people, while his own life got thin and far away. He said it felt like he was talking into a wall when he prayed. The frequency was right, but the receiver wasn't working. 2 weeks after he found what I'm going to talk about, he woke up and said that his mind felt like it was running on all the right things. The fog had been there for so long that he had stopped noticing it as fog. His choices became more clear. His relationships got stronger. He thought that getting older would make his sharpness fade, but it came back not as a flash, but as a steady baseline. That's because of what the team I'm about to talk about found. Neuroscientists in New York, led by Dr. Daniel Barron, did the following for years. They used clinical neural sync technology for more than an hour. This is the kind of whole brain activation protocol that is only used in certain medical settings. They then put it through a very intense process of compression and improvement to make an 8-minute targeted audio sequence. Every day for 8 minutes with headphones on and eyes closed. That's all you need to do physically. No meditation poses, mantras, or writing in a journal. The process happens without you being aware of it. The smart switch is what they call it. The genius switch isn't made by brainwave. It's not a sound frequency track meant to make you feel a certain way. It is a targeted neural synchronization sequence that was made to connect the two hemispheres based on Dr. Roger Sperry's Nobel Prize-winning research. Because the goal is different, the mechanism is also different. The brain waves are what most sound products are for. The genius switch changes the way synchronization works from the inside out. That's a different kind of result. Not everyone can use the genius switch. It's for the chosen one who knows that God planned not only the promise, but also the mind that needs to follow it. They have been sincere for years, done the work, heard the call clearly, and kept coming back to it, even when the evidence wasn't there. They are ready to stop seeing mental fog as a flaw in their character and start seeing it as a problem that needs a specific address and a specific solution in real life. Barron and his co-workers saw this as a huge deal, even at 500, according to other experts in the field. Neurofeedback sessions that take place in person cost $300 an hour. Things for the home cost $700,000. The genius switch could be bought online for $49. Today on this page, there is an extra 10 off for a total of $39. It also has 4 extras that are free, as suggested by a top com app creator. This is a grocery list of the most common foods in American homes that cause brain fog and specific foods that are better for you. Over 100 years old, this is the classic work on manifestation that most of the techniques taught today are based on. For 20 by itself, along with a printable infographic of the 5 habits that will help you build the life you were meant to live. It also comes with a money-back guarantee that you can use as much as you want. You can listen once or 80 times. If it doesn't work for you like it has for 456 other people, you can get your money back in full, no questions asked. In the synchronized state, the provision God has already put close to you is fully seen, but not in the partial state. It's not because the provision is new, but because the receiver that can understand it has been brought back. What was planned for you is already happening. The question is whether you get to the point where the sender and receiver are fully online when you get there. One thing that needs to be named. If you look for something that sounds like it on YouTube or a streaming service, you will find tracks that use the same language. They were looked at by Dr. Barron and his team. Most of them didn't have any neural sync technology built in at all. They use the language because there aren't many reasons not to. How it works is what makes it different. The mechanism is only in the thing that his team made. The path that has been checked is through the link in the description. There is a link in the description below and in the pinned comment that will take you to where Dr. Barron and his team made it available if what was said speaks to you. Before you decide, you can read everything on their page. It's easy to see every detail. The tool doesn't stand in for God. It doesn't give up for you. The door doesn't close itself. You don't need any tools for what God is doing in you. But a tool that heals the receiver makes what God is doing land in the right place more often. For the chosen one who felt something stir when the mind was talked about earlier, that path is still open in the description and the comment that was pinned. Seasons have changed because of a small step taken with a clear head. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to still souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. I want you to fully receive what I say about your life before this message ends. First, though, let me give you some useful tools for getting ready for what's coming. The positioning practice is the first tool. Most people live their days based on what's going on in their lives at the moment. What they see affects how they think, what they expect, and how they talk to themselves. This is a normal reaction to what we can see. But the chosen one who is about to come in large numbers can't be controlled only by what can be seen right now, because we can't see what's coming yet. And if your internal orientation is based only on what you can see, you won't be able to notice the arrival when it happens. This is the practice of positioning. Every day for a set amount of time, you choose to focus on what is coming instead of what is happening immediately. You don't do this by denying the truth about your current situation. You do it by choosing to give the truth about what's coming at you as much weight as the truth about what you can see. When you train your mind, it stops reacting to the present and starts thinking about what will happen next. We're not just wishing for this. In sacred history, this is the position of everyone who received something important before it was seen. Abraham had faith before he saw. Before the Red Sea moved, Moses did what he was told. There was prayer in the upper room before the power came. Positioning came before receiving, and it will do the same for you. Every morning, the positioning practice needs a certain choice. Before you start dealing with the tasks of the day, like reading the news or checking your notifications, you take some time, even if it's only a short one, to prepare for the arrival. What do you tell yourself and God? Something is coming that I have been ready for, and I am ready to receive it today. You stay in that frame of mind as you go about your day. What changes when you take this posture isn't obvious at first, but it has an immediate effect on how you feel inside. As you practice focusing on the arrival, even before any signs of it show up, your mind changes how it handles things that happen during the day. Conversations that weren't important before start to become important. Things that at first seemed random start to feel like they might have something to do with a bigger picture. When you turn your attention toward something, it starts to flow in that direction. And paying attention is the first thing that helps us receive. If the chosen one practices positioning every morning, they start to notice things they had been walking by before. There were chances that were always there, but they didn't register. Connections that could be made, but weren't thought to be useful. It's not just one event that the huge thing has arrived. It's a bunch of smaller recognitions. Every one of them adds to what God has planned to be complete. And for each of those to work, the receiver needs to be tuned to the right frequency. This is the second tool, which is the reception alignment. The present is something that most people fight against when they are in a waiting period. They try to change what is. They argue about the way things are now. They focus on fighting what they don't want instead of getting ready for what is coming. And that resistance, even though it makes sense, actually makes it harder to receive. An unwilling mind is like a fist that is closed. A closed fist can't receive what is being sent. The reception alignment is a way to let go of resistance every day. Not giving up and accepting your current situation as permanent, but letting go of the argument along with it. For now, letting what is be what it is without making it the definition of what will always be. You don't hold on to your current situation with a closed hand. And when you let go of your resistance, you make room for what is coming to come. During a long formation season, this is one of the hardest things for the chosen one to do. Because when things get hard for a long time, our natural reaction is to tighten up, resist, and protect ourselves. But the tightening that keeps you from getting hurt more also keeps the thing that would stop the hurt from coming. The reception alignment is a trusting act that is done even though there is no visible proof. One of the most powerful things you can do to get ready for the arrival is to let go of the grip and open your hand every day. It's not a passive acceptance that the reception alignment is. It's a change that you can do. It doesn't say that nothing is important. It means that I'm not going to fight what is when I could be ready for what is coming. And it's not a small shift in attention. Being fully focused on what God has put in front of you is the difference between being worn out from resistance when you reach the moment of breakthrough and being ready to recognize and receive it. The third tool is the way to reset your expectations. It's possible that this is the most important of the three, but people tend to forget about it during long formation seasons. Over time, being disappointed over and over again lowers the expectation. This isn't a choice. It's just the result of many times when what was hoped for did not arrive when expected. The mind learns what to expect by going through things. Also, if the mind has been through a long period of waiting, it learns to expect that state to happen again. When you intentionally raise your expectations back to the level that matches what God has actually planned, not the level that your disappointments have trained them down to, you are resetting your expectations. Being honest is needed. Your expectations have dropped, and you need to accept that. During a long formation season, most people have much lower expectations than they would say in public. The things they say about faith, plenty, and blessing are right. Somewhere inside their minds, though, they've stopped really expecting the big thing to show up. Waiting has become normal for them. And by making waiting seem normal, they unintentionally sent the message that they see waiting as a permanent state instead of a temporary one. God doesn't answer the things you say in public. In reality, He responds to what you really want. Making sure there is no difference between what you say you believe and what you really expect in your mind is what the expectation reset is all about. To do this, you need to be very clear about what you no longer expect. Give it a name. Tell the truth. Not as a way to be hard on yourself, but as a spiritually honest act that makes room for real change. Then make a choice, a conscious and active choice, to restore that expectation to full, not to a guarded version or a this time maybe version, to the full expectation of the thing arriving. To really expect the big thing again after years of waiting is to leave yourself open to the possibility of being let down again. which is a vulnerable quality to this practice. After what you've been through, being so open feels risky. The chosen one, on the other hand, who will receive what is coming, can't afford to hide behind low expectations. Getting safe costs more than the risk. The thing that comes along with having low expectations is that you might not be ready to fully hold it when it does. When the blessing comes, it's not all that the person was expecting, so they only get a part of it and miss the rest. Set higher goals for yourself. Name the thing you've been interested in. Name it very clearly and in detail. How does it look? When you get something, how does it feel? What's different about your life now that it's here? More precisely you can picture it, the more fully you are expecting it. And the more fully you are expecting something, the more spacious your reception will be when it comes. That which I choose to describe is a pattern in how huge arrivals happen for that person. Knowing the pattern changes how you carry the expectation. Big things don't always happen the way people thought they would. Sometimes it doesn't come through the door they've been watching. It comes through a door they weren't looking through, from a direction they weren't looking in, and sometimes in a shape they can't quite make out at first. And a lot of the chosen ones miss the blessing or get it slowly because they were looking forward to a certain version of it instead of the blessing itself. Keep expecting the substance of what God has planned, but don't expect it to come exactly as you imagined it. This is what the expectation reset means. Hold out for the provision without expecting it to come through the channel you're seeing now. Keep your hopes up for the relationship, but don't force it to look the way you've been picturing it. Hold out hope for the breakthrough, but don't expect it to happen in the way you've planned. What it is what God promised. That's up to God to decide. You are open to the full generosity of the provision in whatever form it comes in when you don't need exactly that form. Before we end this message, I'd like to lead you through a short activation. If you can, find a moment of silence. Allow yourself to close your eyes if you can. If not, look less hard at what's coming next and let it land in your body as well as your mind. Picture yourself at the edge of something. You've been standing on one side of a door that's been there for a long time. You know there's something on the other side. You could feel it. Over the years, you've caught glimpses of the door through the edges, but it hasn't opened yet. Feel what it's like to carry all that stuff. Feel how long the season lasts. Enjoy the fact that you showed up every day, even when you didn't see a reason to. Every morning that began with doubt and ended with faith still strong. It seemed like every prayer I said was going nowhere, but it was actually making something that I couldn't see. Every time you could have left easily, you chose to stay. You can now feel something different coming. You can feel a change in the air around you. There's warmth on the other side of that door. There was no light coming through the edges before. The thing on the other side has been waiting for this moment just as long as you have. The appointment is for both sides. The arrival was always planned, and today was always the planned day. In your chest, feel something let go. The grip of the waiting is letting go. The defense against being let down is going away, and in its place, there is space, readiness, and a receiver that is fully open and not guarded or protected. Open. You're ready for what's on the other side of the door as it opens. Now gently bring your attention back to this moment. Feel the space you just found as you read the rest of this message. There is no need to be defensive about what I am about to say about your life. I want you to be open to it. Before I end this message, chosen one, I need to say something directly to you about your life. I want to thank you for something that not many people see. You stayed during times when it would have been perfectly fine to leave. There were times when it looked like everyone was giving up, and the silence in heaven felt like someone had left you. But you stayed. You didn't let anyone see you keep the faith alive. You prayed even though it didn't seem to help, even though you had to start believing in something new every morning. You did. That staying can be seen. No, not just by me, but also by the God who called you before you were born, before this part of history began. And what you've done, the patience, the loyalty, the hope that you've kept even though there was evidence to the contrary, will not go unrewarded. It was always going to pay off. The covenant does not have a clause for faithfulness that does not lead to a reward. There is no such thing. This is what I want to let go of over you right now. Let go of the guilt of the season that took longer than planned. You were on time and did not miss it. This is the exact length that the timeline was meant to be. Find out who the person is who is always waiting. That identity was a time, not a set of rules. Stop telling yourself that you missed your window. The chosen one who is still standing doesn't have a window that is closed. Let go of the comparisons that made you feel like you were behind. Your story is not on anyone else's timetable, and it's not on yours either. Get rid of the doubt that the big thing was for someone else, for someone who is better prepared, more qualified, and more visible. The only preparation that counts is the one that you have been through and no one else has. Let go of the tiredness that comes from being responsible for the length of the wait. You were not in charge of the length. Because you were in charge of staying, you did stay. Let go of the version of yourself that was shaped by what hasn't happened yet. You were able to use that version during the formation. It made you humble. It made you look for more. It kept you reliant on God instead of your own knowledge. But that version has done its job. The version that was always being made is now coming together. The one that the preparation was always making. You are the chosen one who made it through the formation the longest. That's not a little thing. That's the proof that you can handle the weight of what's coming. What comes into your life at this time will not be normal. It will be in the right amount, in line with the preparation, depending on how faithful they are, equal to the length and depth of what you went through and didn't give up on. It's because of what God is doing in you that I'm here. When I read your story, I don't see someone who is waiting for something to happen. I see a person standing at the exact moment of arrival. It's springtime now, but the person who stayed through the winter doesn't fully understand that the season has changed. And this is what I say right now about your life. I declare that all doors that were meant to open are now opening. I promise that everything that was planned before you knew you needed it is coming. I promise that all the relationships that were meant to be in this part of your life are coming your way. It's official. The clarity you've been looking for in bits and pieces is now your permanent starting point. I declare that the cloud that has been covering you from fully expressing what God put inside you is lifting. I declare that the version of yourself that the formation has been building up over time is now fully emerging in this season at this unique and unrepeatable time, because the preparation is complete. The promise is still valid, and what is about to happen in your life is just as big as God meant it to be when He first called you. That's how it is. And for the chosen one who felt something move when the mind was talked about in this message and knows that the fog has kept them from fully experiencing what God has planned. The path that was talked about is in the comment that was pinned and in the description below it. I will only leave it there. The rest of it belongs to you and the God who planned this meeting years ago, before it happened. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Hello, hello, hello. Heat, and hey. Hey, 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 hey. Heat, hello, hello, hello. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.